So today, we're jumping into a really crucial conversation that came out of the Stanford AI and Education Summit. It gets right to the heart of a huge question. What is AI really going to do to the future of learning?
Yeah, this is the question, right? You've got the smartest people in tech and education all trying to figure this out. And believe me, the answers are not simple at all. We're talking about huge stakes here for students, for teachers, for all of us, really. So let's get into it. We're going to break down the key arguments from some of the leaders right at the front lines of this thing. And by listening to what they have to say, we'll start to see these two really powerful and sometimes conflicting visions for what our classrooms are going to look like. Okay, so first up, let's look at the optimistic side of the coin. This is the big promise, right? The idea that AI could finally be the thing that levels the playing field, that solves some of education's oldest, most stubborn problems, and gives everyone access, no matter where they are.
So, where does all this optimism come from? Well, according to Google's Shantanu Sinha, it really starts with looking back at history. Think about it. He makes the point that most game-changing technologies, they almost always start out as these exclusive things for the rich. But what happens over time? They become available to everyone. And he gives a perfect example that we all get. YouTube. Remember when it first came out, you needed a decent computer, a fast internet connection. It wasn't for everyone. But now, a mind-blowing 93% of its billions of users say they use it for learning. It doesn't matter if you're in a big city or a remote village, it's become this massive global classroom. And the big hope is that AI is going to do the exact same thing, but way, way faster. And the people who believe in this think AI's path to becoming available for everyone is going to be even faster. I mean, the cost to deliver AI is just plummeting. It's dropping like a rock. You've got open source models making these incredibly powerful tools free for anyone to grab and use. And the craziest part? Super sophisticated models can now run on cheap smartphones. That puts this incredible power literally into the hands of billions of people.
But, and there's always a but, right? There's a really compelling counterargument. What if AI isn't like other technologies we've seen? What if instead of closing those gaps, it actually rips them wide open and creates new, even deeper divides? And what if it brings a whole new set of dangers into how we learn? Well, Drew Bent from Anthropic says, hey, this isn't some far-off future problem, it's happening right now. He points to college campuses where you can already see this new gap forming. You've got the students who can afford the fancy, premium, pro versions of AI models on one side, and then everyone else using the free, less powerful versions on the other. And that's creating a whole new kind of digital divide, one that has a direct hit on your grades. And it's not just about who can afford what. There's this other deeper risk, a risk to the way we learn. And what's fascinating is that students themselves are the ones talking about it. They've even got a name for it, brain rot. It's this fear that if you just keep handing off all your thinking to an AI, your own brain's ability to think critically, well, it just starts to waste away. Shantanu Sinha had this really brilliant analogy for this exact problem. He said using AI can be like putting training wheels on a bike, right? The training wheels help you with the easy part, pedaling. You'll get from point A to B, no problem. But you never learn the real skill, the hard part, which is balance. And it's the same idea here. AI can help a student churn out an essay, sure, but it might be robbing them of the chance to learn how to actually think for themselves. And this all leads to a really critical question. If AI can actually get in the way of learning these core skills, what on earth happens when we try to replace the single most important part of education, that human connection, with just an algorithm? Well, Chris Peich over at Stanford decided to find out. They ran this incredible experiment in a huge online coding class with thousands of students. They split them up. One group got help from a cutting-edge AI tutor. The other group got help from what they called near-peer humans, which is basically just other students who are a little bit ahead of them in the course. Okay, get ready for this, because the results were just jaw-dropping. The students who got help from another person, they were 10% more likely to finish the course. But here's the kicker. The students who used that fancy, state-of-the-art AI tutor, they were actually 3% less likely to finish than the students who got no extra help at all. The AI was actually making things worse. So when Professor Pai was asked what happened, why did this super powerful, expensive AI fail so badly, he gave a one-word answer: loneliness. See, for all the information it had, the AI tutor couldn't give the students the one thing that actually keeps them going, that keeps them motivated: a real human connection. Okay, so if AI isn't here to replace teachers, then what is it for? What's its real job? And this is where the conversation takes a really exciting turn towards a future that isn't about just automating the boring stuff, but about sparking a whole new era of creation. Drew Bent from Anthropic explains it like this. The whole nature of knowledge work is about to flip completely upside down. In the past, you might spend 90% of your time just grinding out that first draft of something and then maybe 10% of your time polishing it. Well, in the very near future, AI is going to do that first draft in seconds, and we're going to spend 90% of our time on the really valuable stuff, revising, editing, and elevating those ideas. And this change just blows the doors off what's possible in a classroom. I mean, just imagine. Students could instantly build an app to solve a math problem they're working on, or get into a really tough debate with an AI to make their argument stronger, or take their class notes and boom, turn them into a podcast on the fly. The whole focus shifts from just consuming information to actively creating things with it. Professor Pai really nails this feeling of excitement. He calls it a Cambrian explosion of creativity. I love that. He makes this incredible point that with the tools we have right now, a programmer can build something in 5 days that used to take 6 months. AI is basically giving that superpower to everyone, turning all of us into creators. And that really is the fundamental choice that's right in front of us. The technology itself, it's neutral. It's just a tool. But our decisions about how we use it, they're anything but. As we start to rethink education, what are we going to prioritize? Are we going to design for pure efficiency, or are we going to design for human connection? Are we going to build systems that just automate the old way of doing things, or are we going to build ones that unlock this incredible new wave of creation? Because in the end, the future of learning isn't going to be decided by the AI we make. It's going to be decided by the humanity we choose to keep at the center of it all.